Everything Dies, a coloring book about life. Written and illustrated by Bri Barton. Just a summary of what she says here is that in her 25th year, 6 people close to her died within an 8-month period. Talks about very heavy issues and about how she comes from a background of gardening and being an artist, and how this can really help with death and be part of the conversation. She made a coloring book so that we can finish her drawings, and then it shows an illustration of all of the people that were close to her that passed away. First page. If you are reading this, you're alive. Congratulations. Also, if you are reading this, one day you will be dead. Congratulations. I mean that. I really do. Death is inevitable, important, and maybe even beautiful. Let's see how. And we have this gorgeous animal totem on the first page. This is the one I'm going to start with coloring. I'm going to start with some red. I'm trying to make out what is here. I can definitely tell there's a big beetle here. And then there's a bear face. It looks like there's some wings in the middle. Another face. So I think I'm going to start in the wings and make them red. Or red-orange, technically. I think it's so interesting how she says, congratulations, one day you will die. I think that as I've gotten older, I have realized what a gift death can be. And not to people that are living. To the person that actually dies, it's a gift. Because I've gotten clear on what I believe in regarding to the afterlife, I feel very confident about the process being for your soul. And very confident understanding that your soul is the one that is going to live in the wherever space. I call it the astral realm just to give it a name. And then your soul will review all of the decisions it made in this life. This is the part in Christianity that I got really scared about, because they would tell us that all of our sins and all of the things we did wrong and bad were going to be shouted from the rooftops once we reach heaven so that everyone can hear. And I was like, why are we being shamed in heaven? That doesn't make any sense to me. That never made any sense to me. And the idea that your soul is going to be kind of processing what it decided to do and how it lived makes much more sense to me. Of course that's what happens, Why wouldn't that happen? I still don't know exactly what happens. No one does. I would say the people that probably know a little bit closest to it are people that had near-death experiences. But even then, you didn't actually die, So I think that there's a difference between what happens when you first die, or when you're in the process of dying. I think that process is a lot longer than just being oh, and they're dead, right? When my father passed away, I sat with him on his last day. He wasn't really with it. He was really kind of unconscious, and I could feel him passing away. So I just held him and I hugged him and I cried on him, and I just told him it was okay. I told him that it was okay, that he didn't need to be in pain anymore. I told him I got him. So I really don't think that it just happens out of nowhere, or it happens like really fast. I think that it's a lot of times a process. Like even if they do like say like they just like die on impact, like in an accident or something, I do believe there's still like a process that happens, in which, you know, they have to first realize that they're dead. I imagine it's pretty like surreal. I feel like souls, you know, have a hard time understanding that they're dead. I'm not sure of that for real. Like I'm not like, I don't have any like facts to back that up, obviously, but it does feel like it did feel like when my dad passed, I felt like when I was laying on his dead body, and I could feel like his cold skin underneath me, and I remember trying to pick up his hand, but his hand was just like so like heavy, and like I never felt like a dead hand before, and it was like this by his body, and so with it being like this next to his body, just kind of like I was trying to like grab it like this to hold it, and it was just so hard to pick up because there was no life left, and it was just such a crazy feeling to feel this like cold, heavy hand that used to be my dad's hand. It's no longer my dad's hand. It's really fucked up when people we love die, and I still can't believe he's dead. It's been almost 5 months. In August, it'll be 5 months. My parents' anniversary is coming up on August 5th. My parents loved each other so much, and I think that was one of the most heartbreaking things of all, was how much they loved each other, and my mom just being so brokenhearted. There's definitely more there, but I think that's all I want to share today. This is what I've gotten done on my animal totem so far. It's not much, but it's something. I'm going to keep working on it, and I'm just going to kind of keep, hopefully I can connect to my dad for a little bit. I think that'll be really nice. I haven't really had any dreams about him since the morning he passed. The morning before the morning he passed. So, like I said, like I think that he was preparing to die, and he was starting to like understand. His soul was starting to understand things that his like human body didn't understand or even know. And so in that process, I think he was starting to like just discover stuff that he didn't know before. And it was, he came to me in a dream, and he literally picked up my dildo in the dream and was like, "What is this?" And he's like waving it around, like, "What is this?" Because he found out the morning before he died that I do sex work. So my dad knows that now. Sitting with him as he was dying, knowing that he knew that, that was interesting. That was really interesting. I'm not ashamed of it. I've done too much in my life to be ashamed of anything I do. I've come too far in my shame journey. But at the same time, I really miss my dad. If you've lost anybody close to you, I know you know how this feels, and I just want to offer up the most compassionate condolences and most genuine, heartfelt, I'm sorry. I know that's never enough. But still, hearing it's nice. At least it is for me. It doesn't have to be your experience either, but sharing what happened with people feels really good. You know, I find that every time I tell somebody that my father has died, I feel a little bit closer to him and the person I'm telling. Because I'm letting them in to see my pain. I'm not shying away from it. It's not necessarily a pain that, like, isn't appropriate to share right away, you know? Like, it's more recent, and I think the more I say it, the more it reminds me that it's true, because it's easier for me to kind of, like, just kind of avoid the thought and kind of go through life kind of forgetting what happened. I know that sounds terrible, but I think you probably know what I mean. Just as general, just like, I don't, you know, see him on a daily basis, and I wasn't seeing him on a daily basis before. So now that he's passed, it, you know, nothing's really changed, but everything has changed. So, all right, I said I was going to stop. I didn't stop, but here is what I finished. He's so cute, little bird. So I'm thinking about doing some like red fox stuff here. I'm seeing the fox. I'm gonna do some brown bear stuff here. And then this is like a beetle. So I think I'm gonna do some green and red on the beetle. And then looks like an owl eyes with like crustacean. So I might do some more natural colors up there, and let this be a centerpiece. I love this picture already, and I really want to finish it, and I want to move on to the next page. This whole book is incredible. I've not read the whole thing. I've only read snippets of it, so join me as we read this whole book, and we color this full book, and we do some healing from grief. Thank you so much for watching today. Love you so much, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.